Hey guys, this is Rick at Tasty Guitar. Well, I'm sure you've all seen that clip of the angriest guitar player in the world, right? Pretty hilarious clip. You need to check it out if you haven't. Well, at some point, pretty much all guitar players have faced real frustration during their practice. Whether it's, you're working on a lick that you just can't seem to get under your fingers or some kind of concept you just don't understand. Frustration is probably the biggest obstacle getting in the way of you becoming a better guitar player. So today I'm just going to share with you 6 really easy common sense tips to help you keep a cool head, beat frustration so that you can make steady progress on your instrument. Alright, so say you have a lick or a chord change or a scale pattern that is causing you frustration, you can't get it under your fingers. First thing you need to do, and a lot of people forget to do this, is slow it down, slow it way down. Maybe even down to half tempo of the original. So I'm going to demonstrate this here just by using a lick out of my ebook. The first pass is going to be played at full speed and then at a much slower speed. Alright, so we've slowed down the lick that we're trying to work on, but you're still having problems with it. The second tip is to isolate the trouble spots. So say that we were working on that lick that we heard earlier, and the full lick goes like this. But you're having problems with a couple parts of it. Let's say that you're not getting this hammer on. Something's not clear there. And there's some kind of problem getting to this part of it. What you need to do is isolate each section you're having a trouble with and practice it separately. So let's do, say, this section first. Do it real slow so you can get that hammer on with your pinky. Then the next section is moving from this part down to this double stop right here, without even playing the full rest of the lick yet. I'm just going to go between these two parts. And from there, I might play the rest of the lick. Just practice that section. Okay, so now that we have slowed it down and identified the problem areas and practiced those separately, the next step is to put it back together. But I'm still at the slow tempo. Okay, so now our lick is put back together and sounds clean, but we're still at that slow tempo. So the next step is to gradually increase your tempo in increments of probably about 5 beats per minute until you get back to the intended original tempo. The important thing here is don't increase tempo until you can play it cleanly at the tempo you're at. Okay, so say that we've gone through the steps that we outlined earlier and you're still stuck on this thing. You're still not getting past this thing you're trying to work on. At that point, you really have to ask yourself honestly, am I ready for blank? Am I ready for whatever it is you're trying to learn at that moment? Now in guitar, there's kind of an unwritten rule of the order of things that you learn. You learn open chords and then you learn bar chords. You learn some rhythm playing and then you start learning lead. You learn to play some blues and then you start getting into some jazz. Now, if you find that you're not getting something, it could be that you just skipped over something that you were supposed to learn previous. Okay, so if you're trying to learn how to play blues and you can't play a triplet, you're going to have problems. If you're trying to play funk guitar and you don't know a 9th chord, you're going to have problems. So if you get to a point where you're stuck, you need to go back and recognize something that you skipped and go back there and learn it first. The last tip is probably the most important thing I can say about beating frustration during practice, and that is just be patient. As cliche as it sounds, learning guitar is not a sprint, it's a marathon. I mean, it's really like a lifelong pursuit. And unless you're kind of, in a high pressure gig situation where you have to have a tune done tomorrow, there's not really any point in beating yourself up over not having something done right away. So be patient and use the steps we talked about today, and I'm sure that your practice time is going to be a lot more productive, a lot more fun, and a lot less like work. As always, if you did enjoy the lesson, please like, share, and subscribe, and come by TastyGuitar.com, where I have a lot of other free lessons for you, and I do offer private instruction via Skype. This has been Rick. Thank you.